Hi everybody, I'm Miss Karen at Adams Memorial Library. Thank you very much for watching the book report today. Now, I have so many books to get through this time. I'm going to try to go fast, but you know I get so excited about the books that I just want to tell you about them, but I'm especially excited about this week's books because they're all about using your imagination. And as you can imagine, the library has a lot of books about that. So here are some of my favorites to share with you. The books for this week are My Day in the Garden, which was written by Miela and illustrated by Anita Lobel. Ladybug Girl and Her Faithful Companion Bingo, which was done by David Soman and Jacky Davis. How to. When you use your imagination, you can think of how to do a whole lot of things, and maybe you'll even think of better ways to do them. How To was written and illustrated by Morstad. These two kind of go together. This is Sadie and this is Ruby. They were both written by Sara O'Leary. This is Sadie was illustrated by Morstad, who did this book too. And this is Ruby was illustrated by Alea Marley. And then finally, when you use your imagination, maybe you would like to use it to draw. That's what this story is called, Draw. And it's written and illustrated by Raúl Colón. Or maybe you'd like to use your imagination to write. Or tell a story like the girl here is doing. This book is called The Whisper, and it's written and illustrated by Pamela Zagarenski. So let me tell you a little bit more about these. Well, you know, if you're really looking forward to something, you are so excited, like your friends are going to come over and you're going to spend the whole day out in the garden, and you have a really beautiful garden. There's birds, there's toads, there's worms, there's snails, there's berries, there's flowers. It's going to be fantastic. You can't wait. But maybe it rains that day and you and your friends are not going to be able to spend the day in the garden. Well, if you use your imagination, maybe. And if your friends don't mind coming out in the rain, they've got their boots and their rain hats and their raincoats, then maybe you can pretend to be in the garden indoors. And let me tell you, it especially would work well if you have all the wonderful costumes that this girl has at her house. There's a sewing machine here. I think her parents make costumes, so that works out really well because then she and her friends can start the show. So they can be morning glories for breakfast. They can play hide and seek with a toad. And oh, they could count flowers with these butterflies. Are these not the best butterfly wings ever? Oh, how I wish I had butterfly wings like this. I think these are so beautiful, but I also think these bird costumes are very beautiful too. They could do berry picking with the birds, and I think birds like yummy berries, and so do little girls. So, see, if you use your imagination, you can still change your plans and it can still be good. But you know what else is not good? Is when your big brother says you are too little to play, which is what happens to Lulu. But luckily, Lulu also has a lot of different costumes, but her favorite thing to be is Ladybug Girl. And so when her brother says, nope, you're too little to play, I'm going out to play with my friends, then Ladybug Girl has to entertain herself. But luckily, she is a superhero. She can figure out how to do it. So there are a lot of books in the house and she can't quite read yet, but she knows the letters, so she can count all the L's for Ladybug or Lulu. She can measure her plant, but then she and Bingo decide to go outside. Oh, you can use your imagination a lot outside. And when she's out there, she's observing and she sees there are a whole lot of ants, but there's a rock in their way. But luckily, because she is a super strong superhero, she lifts the rock. She says, I can help you, I'm Ladybug Girl. And then she thinks maybe there are other things she can do. Now, there's this pond and, you know, it could be sharks in there, but luckily Ladybug girl is very brave and she jumps in anyway. Then she sees it looks like some of the rocks fell down from the rock wall, but since Ladybug girl is so strong, she can help put it back together. So she can imagine all kinds of different things that Ladybug girl and Bingo can do, and then when she comes back inside, she can tell her parents all about them. Now how to do a whole lot of things. Suppose you want to go fast. Well, maybe you could see if you can get a piggyback ride from somebody who's fast, or you could have a scooter, or butterfly or moth wings. You know, I love those, so that would be fun. Or maybe stilts. But if you want to go slow, this is how to go slow. You could just lie down in the meadow and have the butterflies come to you. Maybe you think, how could I see the wind? Maybe this is how to see the wind. See where it takes your kite. Or if you want to feel the breeze, a good way to do it would be to whoosh, whoosh downhill on your bike. See, how else could you do things? Ooh, how to make music, even if you don't have instruments. You can make instruments instead. How to make a sandwich. There, it's kind of a friendship sandwich. You get your friends together and lie very still. Or if you want to make some new friends, this is how you can make as many friends as you can imagine if you have some chalk and a place to draw. Sadie likes to imagine all kinds of things. So this is Sadie. No, not that, that's a box. Sadie's inside the box. There, do you see? That's her head. Oh, wait, do you hear? Oh, Sadie says that she's not inside the box. I'm on an enormous boat, she says, crossing a wide, wide sea. There she is on her boat. It's not a box, it's a boat. Sadie likes to imagine all kinds of stuff. Once she gets dressed for the day, she thinks, I could spend the day with my friends, and might be friends in real life, or it could be friends I know from books. Like, oh, maybe Sadie could be a mermaid. Maybe Sadie could be a boy who was raised by wolves. Or maybe she could be the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland and have a tea party with the Dormouse and Alice and the March Hare. Sadie is really good at imagining all kinds of things all day long. And Ruby is really good at imagining new ways to do things. So Ruby is really good at building things. She built a town, and this is her faithful companion, Teddy. But so Teddy helps her decide, well, maybe she wants to be an animal conservationist when she grows up, or an astronaut, or an engineer. Lots of things she can do. She likes to make things like a volcano. She likes to grow things. She likes to figure out how things work. And she likes to invent things like time machine. So she can use her time machine to go back to the time of the dinosaurs, or to go way far into the future. So Ruby can use her imagination to think of all kinds of new things. This story, Draw, is kind of based on something that happened to Raúl Colón when he was a boy. He was sick a lot, and so he had to stay in bed. And even though he couldn't leave his room, when he drew things or when he would read, he could imagine himself in all kinds of places. Like, he might have to stay in bed and read a book about Africa, but when he starts to draw, he can imagine he's right there, drawing an elephant. Maybe some zebras. Giraffes. He's got to hurry to draw them. They're pretty fast. Or maybe he could, ooh, maybe he could draw a rhinoceros, but that's a little far away. So maybe he can get a little closer. Oh, a little closer. Uh-oh. Oh, that rhinoceros is getting pretty close. Uh-oh. Luckily he's fast too. If you're going to draw a rhinoceros, maybe don't get that close. So even when you're imagining, you better stay away from the rhinoceroses. But drawing is a great thing to do when you're imagining something. And so is writing. Now in this story called The Whisper, this little girl's at school and she sees this wonderful looking book, and her teacher says, that's a book full of fairy tales, but if you would like, you can borrow it, you can take it home and read it. And the girl says, oh, thank you. And she is so excited, carrying the book home, but unfortunately, she doesn't notice that as she's running home, all the words, all the letters and the words are coming out of the book. That's not good, but luckily, there's a fox who noticed and caught them all up. So the girl gets home and she feeds her dog and she has dinner, and then she's ready to open up the book, but there are no words in it. Oh, but at least the pictures are still there. She thinks, well, what am I going to do with just the pictures? And then she looks a little more, and she thinks, well, maybe I could imagine a story. So if you like to imagine stories, if you check this book out from the library, there are different pictures, and each one, the girl gives the picture a title and starts writing a page or two. So this one, there's a blue bear on this picture. So she thinks, well, maybe I could call it Blue Bear's Visit. Then she began to tell herself a story. Blue Bear arrived on the first day of spring. He promised what? You check this book out, and you can decide for yourself what Blue Bear would promise. So friends, if you are looking to exercise your imagination muscles, oh, there's so many books that'll help you get strong. You can carry them all. You can check them out from the library. You can be strong like Ladybug Girl, and it'll work your imagination too. So you can come to the library and check any of these out, or you can reserve them. And I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you at the library, friends. Thank you very much. Bye.